SoFi. Along with Chris Canty, Michelle Smallman, Evan Cohen with you. It is Unsportsmanlike ESPN Radio, ESPN2. As always, presented by Progressive Insurance. You can save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com for more information. We are here in San Francisco. We are getting you ready for this game between New England and Seattle. Small, CC, how are we doing today?
Doing pretty good, man. Excited. Now, I got a question that I got to ask you all because it is Super Bowl week. I feel like it's proper to flex the Super Bowl ring. I just don't know when I'm supposed to bring it out. So I didn't wear it today. Do I bring it out tomorrow? Do I wait for the last Football Friday? When do I pull out the Super Bowl ring just to remind everybody that I got one? If I don't remind them enough already.
Yeah, our resident Super Bowl champion. I think you can wear it at any time. If I was you, I would have it on today. I would have it on tomorrow. I would have it on Friday. This is Super Week, CC. You need to let the people know that you are a champ.
I agree.
Yeah, you could never wear it if it was up to me. I mean, considering it was against my team and the New England Patriots. I mean, you could leave it at home. That's fine. Leave it with your son. Give it as a gift to your son, and you're good to go.
Y'all have been there a dozen times, sir. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay that you don't win them all. You've got as many as anybody in football.
And now you're
Stop
back
complaining.
In the game.
That's a big theme, by the way. I was at the hotel restaurant last night, and the guy behind the bar I was talking to, and I was getting a to-go order because the timing is fascinating here because it's 3 o'clock in the morning Pacific time where we are. And the guy said, hey, I'm rooting for the Seahawks. I said, why, if you're a Niners fan? And he said, I don't want, as a Niners fan, there to be the separation between New England and the Niners in terms of numbers of Super Bowls won.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was an interesting theme that, which we can get to, the idea of who people are rooting for, but specifically with the Niners there. But, yes, we are in San Francisco. Smalls has had an interesting 24 hours. The amount of people she has working for her directly is unbelievable. People, including Nuno, who has to get her everything. This has been a fascinating.
What has Nuno gotten me?
He got you coffee. He got you coffee
he did
creamer.
not. He went and got coffee, and I asked him to get me one creamer. I got my own coffee.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying.
CC Evans in a suit today, so he's feeling fancy and he's feeling pious. He's feeling like he's better than us.
Right away. You know what?
Do we have a word of the day candidate?
I'm going to say no. She would never do it that early.
I wouldn't.
Ooh.
I'm saying no.
Okay.
Is it?
It's not the word of the day.
Yes!
It's who you are naturally, pious.
Yes.
Nice.
On your high horse. With
How
your
am I
white
on?
wig,
Oh my
judging
God!
everyone.
She's so dressed up today, and she's pushing it on
He's
me.
in a suit.
I said I was going to be in a suit. You didn't say you were going to be in satin or linen, whatever the heck you're in here.
It's silk, but
Whatever. Anyway.
get the fabric right.
Okay. We are a couple of days away from one day away from the NBA trade deadline as we're here. Super Week, obviously. SoFi is sending us here, which we appreciate greatly. I got to be honest. I don't understand for the life of me what happened last night with this trade. There were multiple trades yesterday. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a huge one to the Jazz. But can anyone try to explain why either team was really excited about the idea of a James Harden from the L.A. Clippers to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland trade? Like, specifically on the Cavs part, I just – CC, I live in this stuff. I love all the trade rumors, and I love all the gossip around the NBA. But also I love basketball. Can you try to explain what is going on here? Because I don't understand why anyone was interested in doing this deal yesterday.
Desperation makes for interesting bedfellows. And we got the report, 48 hours ago, that Donovan Mitchell was unlikely to extend in Cleveland beyond the current contract that he has unless the team goes on a deep postseason run. And the Cavs have little to no evidence that they, as a team, as constituted with Darius Garland as the backcourt mate for Donovan Mitchell, can get over the hump. And you're looking at what's happening in the Eastern Conference with the Detroit Pistons seemingly leapfrogging you in the line of other contenders along with the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks. And the Cavs feel like their window was shrinking. So this is the break glass in case of emergency option, and they decided to turn to James Harden. Now, I get it. When you look at Donovan Mitchell and James Harden in the same backcourt, it's defense optional. Not that it was significantly better with Darius Garland, but I will just say this. James Harden is going to alleviate some pressure from Donovan Mitchell on the offensive end in terms of orchestrating the offense. And fact of the matter is, James Harden should unlock a different version of Evan Mobley, because that's what James Harden does at every single stop. If you look at him when he was with Houston, Clint Capella's best seasons by far. You look at him with the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid wins an MVP. You look at him last year, Zubac's best season statistically. So everywhere James Harden goes, he gets the best out of bigs. And so from that perspective, I think that's what the Cavs are anchoring on in order for this team to get to another level. So it does take pressure off of Donovan Mitchell offensively, but more importantly, it makes the team better by hopefully getting a better version of Evan Mobley. That is the only thing that I can point to, Ev, as to why this trade would be a positive for Cleveland. But I will admit, this is a long shot. I do not expect that this is going to be the move that now helps Cleveland to ascend to Eastern Conference dominance. I think this is a chance that they had to take before ultimately, having to be propositioned with moving on from Donovan Mitchell.
Ladies and gentlemen, not that you needed me to remind you of this, but that right there is why this man is so good. Because what he just told you was not that James Harden is going to be different in the postseason than he's ever been, which is terrible in the postseason. What he told you is the Cleveland Cavs feel like in order for them to win and win big, Evan Mobley has to be different. And what's the best way of unlocking Evan Mobley? Maybe it's that guy. But what would scare me, Smalls, is I think you have to put Donovan Mitchell more so on the clock to leave Cleveland now than you did 48 hours ago, because playing with James Harden is going to end at some point. Playing with James Harden means that there's an expiration date. Playing with James Harden means he's going to do everything in his power to play 82 games, but also at some point, for lack of a better way of saying it, quit on the team. And I don't mean in-game. I mean, that's it. You're not giving me the contract. I want to go somewhere else. That's what would scare me if I'm the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, when I looked at this trade initially, I thought, okay, in the immediacy, Harden's more reliable than Garland. He's obviously been dealing with those toe issues. So you want to pair him with Donovan Mitchell and take your chances. But that's obviously the next place I went to is, what does this mean for Donovan Mitchell long term? Is this a placeholder in James Harden for whatever happens with Donovan Mitchell's future? And maybe from a financial standpoint, they're looking at it and saying, okay, if we bring Harden in now long term, it could be financially advantageous to us. We could have some savings here based on the numbers. But in the immediacy of it, I don't know if this is going to work, but it did raise my red flags that, okay, this says a lot about what they're thinking about when it comes to Donovan Mitchell's future in Cleveland.
Let's hear from Brian Windhorst, ESPN senior NBA writer, of course, Hoop Collective podcast, was on Amber and Ian, 7P to 10P Eastern here on ESPN Radio, as to what motivated the Cavs to make the Harden trade.
I think that the motivation for the Cavs is they felt they were underachieving this year, and they felt they were getting uneven play on offense, and particularly, Darius Garland was dealing with foot injuries. And so in 2 years, this trade may look like a giant win for the Clippers. They may have Darius Garland. He may be back to all-star form. He's going to be in his prime in that time, and I don't even know if James Harden will be in the league in 2 years, much less helping the Cavs. But for the 2026 season, when the Cavs are under some pressure to make a run, the East is weaker than it's been in recent years, and they have their own contract stress with Donovan Mitchell this summer. I do believe it maybe gives them an elevated chance this year.
CC, do you believe the Cavs are real contenders in the East now that James Harden is on the team?
No, because at some point you got to be able to stop somebody, and I don't know that their backcourt can stop anybody, and they got rid of one of the best wing defenders in the league in DeAndre Hunter. They shipped him off to Sacramento for Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis. And not to disparage those guys, but I thought if you're going to make this move and you want to be serious about contending against teams that are overly physical like Boston, like Detroit, then you're going to need to be able to have somebody to mitigate the deficiencies that those two guards have defensively, that being James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. So I don't view them as a contender. I do think that this gives them an opportunity to get Evan Mobley on the right track in terms of being able to unlock his immense potential, because the dude has all of the tools in his bag. It's just a matter of somebody being able to help him put it all together. And I think James Harden has proven that he can do that.
So do you guys think this is it, or do you think that maybe we should be talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers as a Giannis team? Because if you look at it, they have the picks are not there for Cleveland to give to Milwaukee for Giannis, but the players are. Evan Mobley, Jalen Tyson. Like, that would be intriguing if you're the Milwaukee Bucks to get those two guys theoretically. Now, maybe the Cavs look at it and say, we're now a two-timeline team because Mitchell and Harden are over the next couple of years, and then those other two guys I just mentioned are for years to come. I mean, Small, should we be looking at the Cavs as a potential Giannis team now?
I'm not ruling them out, for Giannis. Are you talking about now, as in by tomorrow, or are you talking about potentially this summer?
No, I'm talking about by tomorrow. I'm talking about, do they go for broke here? Because when you
Can
make
I ask you a question, Ev? Can I ask you a question? When does a two-timeline team work?
It doesn't. The Warriors tried it. It doesn't.
It doesn't work.
Tell me something. Right now, are the Cavs on a two-timeline? Because I think they are. I mean, I think when you look at it.
I think the Cavs are on borrowed time. That's what I think. I think they're on borrowed time. I think this is the long goodbye. This is the beginning of the end of Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland. I think that's the reality that they're faced with, and they're doing everything that they can. They're pulling out all the stops to see if they can find a way to convince Donovan Mitchell to stay in Cleveland. I'm not going to say it's apples to apples, but it does remind me a lot of what the Milwaukee Bucks did in the offseason by wave stretching Damian Lillard and then going out and signing Miles Turner. You knew it was going to be a bad contract, not because it's a bad player, but just because of the state of affairs when it comes to your team's books. Milwaukee knew it was going to be a bad situation, but they did it anyway because that's what they felt like they had to in order to try to convince Giannis to stay around. It feels like the same thing with the Cleveland Cavs with Donovan Mitchell. They are terrified of losing their superstar, and I understand that. But I do feel like it's at a point now where it's inevitable. And that's unfortunate because you thought that when Boston or when New York potentially takes a step back, that the Cavs would be that team. And it just hasn't panned out that way.
All right, a lot more to do on this. Obviously, trade deadline is Thursday. We will keep you updated on all of the moves. The Clippers side of it with getting a young point guard for years to come in Darius Garland.